kids won't give you no slack. When the tax man is on the attack, who's there standing right at your back? And it's the crush test diva.
Hello and welcome to Crash Test Diva. I'm your host, Christy Eichers. Now, I know we said we were going on hiatus for the month of April, but there is a worldwide event happening, and we just had to put out a bonus episode to talk to you all about it. So I've invited my sister, Annie, back because we've got to talk all things royal wedding. And she is my royal wedding expert. Annie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm very excited for this special episode.
Well, tell us what we're going to break down today so people are prepared for this worldwide event.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about the details of the wedding, what we know. Then we're going to talk about having your own royal wedding viewing party. We're going to break it down by invitations, food, themes. There's a lot to talk about. But we're going to start with my original royal wedding viewing party.
Oh, I cannot wait for this. Let's go.
So, back in 1981, when Chuck and I got married, I was newly out of high school. And one of my friends, Chris Adams, hosted we didn't know that they were viewing parties, but it was a viewing party. We just were going to her house to watch the royal wedding in real time because there was no other option.
Because this was before DVRs, before VC. Well, we might have had the Betamax back then. Yeah. And then also, was this just back in the day when we only had like 4 channels?
Well, that was the year that we got
around?
MTV, but we didn't have a lot of channels.
So real time. What time did you have to be at this party?
Well,
and how old were you at this time?
So I was 18.
Okay.
And like I said, just out of high school, getting ready for college. We arrived, I had to send out quite a few emails to gather up information about what happened at this party because my memory was not great. But between my high school friends, we came up with all the information. We think we got together around 3. Now, It was what people in London would call a fancy dress party. That's a costume party. We came dressed as guests who would be attending.
Okay, Annie, tell us who was at your party.
Well, of course, the Queen was there. That was Lynn. And Princess Anne was there. That was Chris Adams.
Princess Anne.
That's the sister of the Queen.
I'm feeling like I need to watch that PBS show to
you got to get caught up,
prepared.
Right.
Okay. And I would say also, folks, we will post pictures in the show notes of Annie's high school
They're pretty good.
Viewing party costumes. Okay,
They're
keep going.
Tracy, that's Chris's sister. She was the Archbishop of Canterbury. He was the guy who performed the ceremony.
The officiant.
Yes. Now, my favorite 2 guests were Jean and Shawn. They came as King Friday and Queen Sarah Saturday from the royal realm on Mr. Rodgers' Neighborhood.
That's hysterical.
And their costumes are great. That picture's great. And then there are a few other people there, but I was the Duchess of Foxtails. Now, that is a made-up title, but I was wearing a dress that belonged at one time to our step-grandmother. And
Marcella.
It was a black sheath dress that had an attached scarf that was trimmed with foxtails, real foxtails.
And folks, I have that dress in my basement in my costume closet.
I would kill to fit into that dress today.
No kidding, right? I would kill to fit into that dress. But anyway, okay. That is really fun that you all dress up. Now, so what did you guys have? Do you remember what you served or anything like that?
So, of course, we had tea. And as Jean put it, I think we ate exotic food like scones. Because in 1981 in Mankato, a scone was an exotic food.
Well, let's be honest. A bagel was an exotic food.
It was a very exotic food. So, we had traditional tea kind of things. And I'm not sure everybody stayed awake the entire time. And I feel like...
Well, how long do you think it took?
Oh, well, I mean, if we got there at 3 or 4, because we probably got there for some pre-event... we probably didn't leave until 9 in the morning, and then I'm sure I just went home and went to bed. But it was not a sleepover. I know we arrived in the middle of the night, all dressed up.
Oh, that's hysterical. Okay. So I have one memory of back then. I would have been like in 6th grade or something.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And my friend Sarah Turk had a viewing party, and they got dressed up. I don't know if they did theirs in the middle of the night, though, because the Mankato Free Press showed up and took a picture. So I'm going to find a picture of her, Sarah Turk, and Nancy Smith, the two of them, dressed up with,
so
I think they're siblings. And I'll post a picture of that, because that was because my friends, we weren't that into it.
Yeah. We were very into it. And, when I started traveling for work, maybe 6 years later, I was so into my trips to London because I really thought I was going to see Di and.
You used to bring home, what's that royal rag?
The
that
rags.
newspaper.
Yes.
Yeah. You used to bring that home. Did you guys, when you were having this party, did you anticipate a divorce or anything?
No,
Were you
God,
placing
we
any
thought
bets
it was a
on
fairy
this?
tale. We thought it was a fairy tale. We had no
thought
idea.
It was a fairy tale.
We had no idea what was
You
really
didn't
behind
know
the scenes.
Camilla, the evil
No, we didn't know.
woman, would
No.
bust up that fairy tale.
And I mean, we thought that big wrinkly dress she got out of that carriage in was fabulous. Now I think it's a little silly, but at the time we thought it was fabulous.
Yeah. Okay. So that is enough history.
Yeah.
On
Okay.
that royal
Let's
wedding.
move
But
on.
That kind of prompted. We started thinking about that, and so we had to talk about this royal wedding, which I can't wait.
Well, this is just such an exciting royal wedding because it's like rule breaking. I mean.
Well, so interesting enough, I was just in London, and I asked some of my British friends about it, and I will tell you, they're none too happy with
Really?
Harry marrying Meghan.
Because she's American.
She's American, and I think the whole. They're just very skeptical about this. They're just not. They're just like, what wedding? When I'd ask,
my
I go,
gosh, that's so
I'd be like,
funny.
what about the royal wedding? And they're like, what wedding? So they're not into it like us.
Well, so since we've been talking about doing this episode, have been doing a lot of research. And I have found podcasts about this wedding, and I have read a lot of things. There are British people who are excited about it. They're not all down on it.
Good.
But it is, Harry does his own thing, and this wedding...
And that's why we love
That's
Harry.
right. And this is really our royal wedding, because we're American.
Yes.
We're in there now. We're in the club. And I just feel like it's a fresher royal wedding, and there's just a lot of fun that can be had surrounding this event.
Okay, Annie, share with us all the research on this year's Meghan and Harry wedding.
Okay, well, we're going to start with the date. It's May 19th. And my favorite official hashtag for the wedding is hashtag HEGHANFOREVER, and that's Harry, Meghan combined. HEGHAN forever. So I find that
good Lord.
quite funny. The wedding will take place at noon, so that's about 6 o'clock our time, 6 a.m. our time.
Ooh, okay.
And the wedding is at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. That's 20 miles outside of London. That is not where our most recent royal weddings have taken place, but that is where Camilla and Charles had their civil ceremony.
Oh, okay.
And that is the
How many
weekend
people?
home of the Queen.
Oh, she goes out there every weekend?
Most of the weekends she goes out there, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so 6 a.m. start. Now, I've heard that, was it NBC is bringing over their entire morning show, Today's Show, to broadcast? Have you heard that?
I've heard, yes. And I haven't really found any super official on that, but I've heard that, and I feel that would be awesome.
Oh, for gosh sakes.
That would be awesome.
Okay, so break us down. May 19th, we're, 6 a.m.
So
what are we going to see?
Well, so you're going to see, first of all, this I just found out. Elton John just recently rescheduled 2 Las Vegas shows, so it's rumored he will be singing at the wedding.
Oh, I just got goosebumps.
For sure he'll be at the wedding, I feel, because he rescheduled those shows, but it's been said he'll be singing. There's also this Spice Girl rumor floating out there. I couldn't get any, for sure.
Oh, you're kidding me.
I mean, Posh will be there. Posh and Bex will be there because they were at the last royal wedding. But Spice Girls performing, I don't know. But there's a hairy tie back to that. When he was a kid, he really liked them, apparently.
Okay.
So let's say you're going to have a party. When are you going to have your party?
I think we should have a party, FYI.
I do too. So
what day of the week is May 19th?
It's a Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay.
So you have to decide, are you going to do your party in real time, or are you going to DVR and do it later? Because you have choices. Do it in real time. You can have a brunch. You can do a tiara sleepover where everybody wears their PJs and tiaras and they just sleep over and you get up at, wee hours of the morning to watch it. Or you could do a happy hour. So DVR it later in the day, have a happy hour, or a traditional high tea. You've got lots of choices. So then you're going to do invitations. And now I've done a lot of research and there are some fun invitations out there. If you go to Zazzle.com, they have a whole line of When Harry Met Meghan products.
Okay, how cute is that?
It's
like a
very
playoff of When
cute.
Harry Met Sally?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love it.
Very cute and very well done and very reasonably priced. So you can get an invitation there. You can also go to Paperless Post. They don't have an official royal wedding invitation, but they have many with tiaras and things that you could make work.
And Paperless Post, I've used them before, and they're free.
And Evite.
Yeah.
Evite has a few options, too. And then don't forget about Etsy. If you go into Etsy and just put in their search bar, Royal Wedding, you will get invitations, buttons, decorations, all kinds of things. And they're very reasonably priced. Everything is pretty reasonable. And then your third place to look for things is Amazon. They have a lot, too. All right, so now you've decided on the time of your party. You've decided on your invitation.
So let's just pretend we're going to do the real time. We're going to
all right.
Morning AM. Okay.
Then you need to decide on dress code. Is it a fancy dress party? Do you come as a guest of the royal wedding? Is it a fascinator party where everyone?
What's a fascinator
those
party?
are those hats they wear. Those
just any hat?
Well, any hat, but those funky little hats they wear a lot. Those are called fascinators.
That's right, the little ones. Oh yes. Oh.
So is it a fascinator?
Can we buy those? Can you buy those?
You can buy those. That might cost you a little more money.
Okay, so here's the deal. I have a basement full of Grandma Gina's hats, so I think I could just invite people into my house and they could wear one of Grandma Gina's hats.
Yes, if they didn't want to bring their own. And if you want to make a fascinator, that's not hard. Some feathers and a flower and stick it in your hair, you're good. I mean, you don't have to go all Princess Eugenie on that.
Folks, for those of you unfamiliar with the fascinator, we will post a picture of that in the show notes as well.
And then, of course,
this is a very educational show today.
It is good. It is good. And then, of course, there's the PJs and tiara, party. Now, I have read about a bring a corgi party, which I think would be fabulous, but maybe a little difficult.
Bring a corgi party?
Yeah, the dogs, the Queen's dogs. And I don't know if you read in the paper this week.
What am I going to rent a corgi?
Yeah, you can do that. You can actually do that. But
shut up.
You can rent that. But you can also get helium balloons that look like corgis, which would be good decorations. But on a sad note, the Queen's last corgi died this week.
Oh, R.I.P.
She's had those corgis for 8 decades, and her last one
the last
died.
one, so she doesn't have any more?
She doesn't have any more because she's pretty old. So she's,
okay. Well, let's be honest. She's not walking them. I mean, she's got a crew of people.
Yeah, no. And no. So.
And they're not going to replace this last corgi?
It didn't sound like it from the article my husband forwarded me. It did not sound like it.
Oh, my God. Paul's getting in on the research now?
He's helping out. Out. Mm-hmm. It's a family affair.
Oh, my God. Okay, so talk to me.
All right, so now you've got your dress code. Next,
and we've got a little theme, or the dress code. Okay,
so now you got to decide on your food. All right, so if you're doing a early morning, tea, biscuits, and biscuits in London, that means something different.
It's cookies.
Yes, and they're delicious.
And my favorite ones are hobnobs. And I think locally, I'll look and see if we can get them on Amazon, but
you can buy them, I think, at
World Market.
Yes.
World
Yes.
Market. I like the plain, but also when I lived in London with Lori Jacobson, we were big fans of the chocolate.
Yes.
Oh, they're so yummy. They're not
so
too
good.
sweet. Hobnobs, folks. If you've never had a hobnob, we're going to link to it, and you need to run, don't walk, to buy some hobnobs.
So you've got your biscuits, scones, which we talked about earlier, which now are pretty easy to access. Although
Now, I think don't we have a good scone recipe out there? I feel like we have one that we've used for some brunches.
Well,
I'll find one.
I found the Queen scone recipe.
Oh,
So I'll link you to that.
Okay, we'll do that. That sounds good.
And then crumpets. Do you know what crumpets are? I do.
Well,
I can tell you.
Yeah, I was going to say, aren't they like English muffins?
A crumpet is not made with dough. It's made with batter. And it's fried in a ring on a frying pan. So it's sort of a pancake-ish effect, but it gets a lot of holes in it.
You know,
And so-
you can buy them at Trader Joe's.
And then you just have to heat them up a little bit and you're good
Yes.
to go. But they have a lot of holes. That's so your marmalade and your things will go in there and be really delicious.
And what's that other stuff? The clotted cream? What do they call that?
Clotted cream.
Clotted cream. Oh,
Clotted
it's
cream.
like cotted cream or cottage cream or clotted cream.
clotted
Yes.
cream.
Oh my God, our foodie Liza is rolling over in her grave
Yeah,
as she
right?
listens to this right now. Yep, I know my foods. I know my British foods. Okay,
So you'd
yes,
want to
okay.
have an assortment of jams and jellies and clotted cream and tea. And then I also feel like you could easily serve a mimosa or a champagne and elderflower cocktail.
Okay, no. My favorite British cocktail is the Kir Royale.
And tell us what's in that. Ah! All right, we'll have to look that one up.
I'm going to go to Google. You keep talking because, oh my God, it's champagne and Chambord, I think. It's champagne and Chambord.
Okay, I think
But
you're
whenever
right.
I love when I was in London, I had some recently because they're kind of fancy. So, okay,
So that would
keep
be a
going.
good brunch kind of or early morning. You know, that would be an option for you. Now,
Yes.
if you're going to have things later in the day, you could do traditional high tea.
Okay,
Yep.
just wait. Google. I was right. Chambord and champagne.
And Chambord
and
is
for
just-
those of people who don't know what Chambord is, it's like a black raspberry liqueur. It's
that's
it's
delicious.
lovely.
That's
yes.
delicious.
So FYI, I would do a Kir Royale. Kir, K-I-R, Royale, R-O-Y-A-L-E. Look it up, peeps. Okay.
All right, so then high tea, finger sandwiches, scones, biscuits, cakes, all those things. If you want to do little cakes and make them more festive, you can go to Etsy and get some really cute cake toppers that have the royal couple, their image, that you can just
for
stick in
Pete's
your
sake.
cupcakes. They're really cute. If you want to stay true...
You can be in charge of those. Okay.
If you want to stay true to the royal wedding cake, instead of the traditional fruit cake, which is normally served at the royal weddings, they are serving a lemon elderflower cake with buttercream frosting.
Okay. Wah, wah, wah. Can we back this up? Their traditional wedding cake
It's
is
fruit cake.
a fruit cake?
And in the article I was reading it in, the person who was writing it said, I hope that means something different than we think.
Oh, for Pete's sake. I kind of want to find out. That is insane.
So, but
Oh my
I
God.
think that a lemon cake, a lemon elderflower cake, that sounds lovely. And the royal wedding cake,
Sounds very refreshing.
it does.
And
Light,
fresh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that'd be a
Okay.
good thing to have. If you're having your party later in the day, what about fish and chips? Very traditional.
Yes. I don't want to cook them, but
I don't
yes,
want to cook
okay.
them, but that would be delicious.
True.
And then, of course, I have come up with a few traditional British drinks you could serve if you're doing a happy hour with snackies. And
Okay.
so you could go back to your Kir Royale. That could be served really any time of the day. Pimm's is a big deal over there.
Yeah.
And so I actually later today will be testing a couple Pimm's cocktails. They look delicious.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then, of course, gin. Gin's a big thing. And they're talking about, as a royal wedding theme, doing a gin and tonic with a raspberry muddle in the bottom.
Oh,
And
okay.
we recently had a gin and tonic that had.
Yeah, where did we have that?
It was
I
good.
don't know.
Where were
It was
we?
really good. I don't know.
You know what
somewhere.
was it? I know where it was. It was when we were at Du Nord. Wasn't that where we had that?
Yeah, it was.
It was really good.
It was a really good gin and tonic. Question: do we know if Harry and Meghan are having a quote unquote signature cocktail?
I don't know that because, their wedding is early in the day, so they have sort of a luncheon after it. And then when Wills and, oh God, what's her name?
Kate Middleton.
Kate. When Wills and Kate got married, they had a fancy dance party later that night.
Yeah.
So my guess is if they were going to have something, that's where it would be.
So when you say, does it start at 11 in the morning and then they go have a little luncheon afterwards?
That's
and
how
then
I
they all
understand it.
break and will she change her clothes for the dance
Well,
party? Do we know?
That's a discussion. If they
So
do
if
it,
we start this party at 6 in the morning, are you saying we're going to go until about
Oh.
11 a.m.?
it depends on how much you want to see and how many of the games you want to play. And they don't
we have
televise.
games.
Oh, we have games. They don't televise that party.
And I think about what they do with Oscars parties. I bet or the Today Show will have
might
some
try to
stuff.
get
Let's
there.
be honest. Okay.
Really, what you see is the wedding, and then when they leave the wedding and they go through the streets and
Yeah, because they have a little parade, right?
Yeah, right. So
And then you have to wait for the first kiss on the balcony, right?
right. Because
Will
that's
they do
where
that?
the
But
reception.
they're 20 minutes away, so are they going to do that?
Yeah, that I don't know. Those are details I don't know. Those are good questions, but I don't know. I will say, though, you need to hand to your guests when they arrive at the party a little Union Jack flag so they can be waving them throughout the ceremony like everyone on the streets would be doing.
Okay.
And that's an Amazon purchase for you, and it's very affordable.
We'll link to that. We'll
Yeah.
link to that. Okay, so do we know who's in Meghan's wedding party or what's... Because remember when Lady Di got married, she just had a boatload of little kids.
Well, that's the tradition.
And then you remember when Kate got married, she had Pippa and Pippa's fabulous behind in that dress.
The wedding party will be made up of the traditional small children. It'll be friends, Kate and Will's kids, Meghan's best friend's child. There's a few other royal littles that will be in it. Then there is discussion that she will have a maid of honor that is her best friend. I don't know her name, but she's like a stylist, wedding planner kind of girl. And then
She's not a fellow actor on the show Suits.
no.
Okay.
And then his brother, Wills, will be
best man.
Best man. That is
Okay,
the
got
discussion.
Are we calling him Wills now? Is that the way we're
Well,
Wills?
when I listen to all my podcasts, that's what they call them. So I just went with that. There was something floating out there that Serena Williams was going to be a maid of honor because apparently Meghan and Serena Williams are really good friends.
For real?
For real. They played in some celebrity something and they became
So
friends.
Meghan's a tennis player.
No, it wasn't a tennis game. It was like a celebrity, soccer match or something. I don't know. But that's
perfect
pretty
sense.
much been, she'll probably be a guest at the wedding.
Okay, got it.
Along
Got it.
with
Any
the
other
Obamas.
celebrities that
The
we're going to see?
Obamas
I mean,
have
the
been
Obamas
invited.
are going to be there?
But
Okay.
there will not be a lot. There will be actually no other, like presidents, and that's not on the guest list. Other countries.
Now, what about the two crazy cousins that wore the really
Okay.
bad hats at the last wedding? Will they be in attendance? What are those names? Those girls?
Eugenie and Beatrice.
Are they going to be in attendance along with their crazy mother?
Their mother was not at the last wedding, and she will probably not be at this wedding, but the cousins will be there. And Eugenie has also just announced her engagement. She's getting married in October. Some people feel like she's trying to steal the thunder, but let's be honest, Eugenie could never steal the thunder from #HEGHANFOREVER. So, move along. But I will be really excited to see the hats that they wear because the ones
I
they wore
can't
to
wait.
Kate and Will's wedding were crazy. They were crazy.
Again, we'll probably try and pull one of those up and put it in the show notes in case you cannot remember.
That you can find that picture very easily on the internet too. So
Yes. Okay. So what else do we have to talk about with this royal wedding
All right.
bonus episode?
So a couple things. We're going to do decorations and then games. So Meghan's favorite flower is the peony. The peony will be in season during this May, unless the snow thing really throws us off. So you should probably have those in your house. It's going to be in her bouquet. Also, if you would like to decorate your house with...
What? Okay, can we back up? Do we know what color?
No, I don't know what color.
No colors? Okay, do we know anything? Can we back up a little bit further? Do we know anything about her dress? Or did you want to talk about that later?
We can talk about her dress. All I know is that there are 3 British designers that are being talked to about it. We don't know anything else. That is a highly guarded secret. You could turn that into a game, which we can talk about in a little bit.
Okay. Keep going then. So the flowers we need in our house, peonies.
The Union Jack, that's a fun one. I personally think that the life-size cutout of Meghan and Harry that you could use for photo ops would be an awesome thing to have at your party.
Oh, for Pete's sake, how much do you think that thing costs?
It's $60 on Amazon. I looked it up.
Okay, we'll link to it, folks. I can't guarantee you I'm going to have that in my party.
And then, again, like I said, if you go to Etsy, they have a lot of nice decorations that you could purchase to add.
Classy stuff.
Bunting, things like that. So there's...
What is bunting?
Oh, those like fabric swag things.
Swags?
Or like the little flags with the British...
Oh, okay,
like
got
those,
it.
yeah.
Okay,
Those are
okay, got
cute.
it. Okay.
All right, so then let's talk party favors, because it's not a really good party till you've given out a favor.
Oh boy, let's go.
So you could give out a can of traditional British tea. There are many When Harry Met Meghan buttons, mugs, T-shirts, hats available.
Okay.
I mean, those would all be really fun things. You're going to give them their little flag so they can go home with that.
Now, I got to ask you.
Yeah.
Am I going to want to, after this day, wear a Harry and Meghan hat?
No,
or are
but
they cute, fun logos?
They are cute.
Okay.
But you might just want a button or a coffee mug.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
That's
okay.
kind of what I would
Well, that
think.
would be very cute to give out a little teacup with some tea.
Exactly. And if you want, now you could get the official Harry and Meghan commemorative teacup that has their images on it. Or you could go to the Goodwill and buy a bunch of different random teacups, put your tea in it, wrap it up with cello, and ooh, beautiful.
Or you could probably just go to my basement and find some of Grandma Gina's teacups and use.
You could probably do that too.
Oh, oopsie. Okay, keep going.
All right, so then let's talk about games. There are a lot of games being bandied out there. There is an actual Facebook page for drinking party ideas.
6 a.m, can't say. I mean, and if we're talking, you're going to have to pace yourself, folks. If you're going to enjoy the day's festivities, you're going to have to pace yourself.
Some of the suggestions are not going to work. One of them was every time you see the Union Jack, you take a drink. Well, you're going to be gone. That's just a horrible idea.
You won't see her walk down the aisle, folks.
You won't see anything. So, but there are others that aren't quite as over the top. So if you're into that, that's an option. Royal Wedding Bingo is a big one that is being talked about out there.
Because, I like me some bingo.
And I really feel like I need to create our own bingo. And I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get that done for us.
Well, let's do it because we should post it with this episode.
Yes, I'm working on it. I've started. So basically, it's things like Eugenie in a crazy hat, Fergie crashes the party, the Queen, a corgi, the Union Jack, all these, into bingo cards. So everyone can play along. And I think that would be very fun.
I think you do that, and we will link to the PDF in our show notes so everybody can play their own bingo.
Yes, and we'll do multiple cards because, we don't want just one. Then everyone will win at the same time.
You have to. That would be the...
We'll do that.
Knucklehead. Okay.
All right, and then...
I like it.
If you're doing a hat party, you need to have a best hat. That needs...
Contest.
Yes. You need to have a contest. Or if you're doing a costume party, you need to give out a prize for the best costume. And then I think this is a great idea. Set up a little royal wedding trivia or just royal family trivia. So in those kind of dull parts where you're just watching, watching, you can shout out questions. I mean, Diana alone gives you a boatload of questions you can use, and just kind of keep that going. And that's another thing you can do to keep your party interesting.
Oh, that's a very good idea. That's a very good idea. Assign someone to be in charge of the trivia. I like it. Okay.
And
okay.
I haven't done a lot of research on that one yet, but I know that you would be able to find many trivia questions just on the internet that you could use.
Okay, now any more games do we have to talk about?
No, those are the games I have.
I like that. Well, okay, people, I am going to hold her to getting that darn bingo card set ready, and we are going to post that and promote it. Now, I want to know gossip about the wedding. Who's being shunned? Who's walking Meghan down the aisle? What do we know? Because, I mean, Meghan, let's talk. She's a little bit of a wild card coming into this royal family.
So the odds are that her mother will walk her down the aisle. Her mother,
Really?
the social worker / yoga instructor, very cool woman.
Hippie natural.
Will walk her down the aisle. Her parents are divorced, but are showing a united front for this wedding. She has a half sister who's she's according to what I've read, a failed model who's bitter about Meghan's fame. So I'll let you deep dive on that on your own.
Is she going to be there?
She is not supposed to be invited, is what I've heard. She
What?
will not be invited.
Oh, boy. Okay.
They are inviting a lot of regular people around London that are involved in the different charities and work that they've been doing.
Okay.
So there will be regular people there. And, we talked about a few of the celebrities. There will be many more. And then the royal family, pretty much all those people get invited except Fergie because she got booted out.
Okay.
So that's what I know there.
Okay, so tell the people about the podcast if you've been listening to and enjoying where you've been getting a lot of your research.
I have been listening to a podcast, and it's called When Meghan Met Harry. They reverse the names. And it is a Panoply podcast, and it is a American woman and a British guy, and they're funny, and they bring in guests, and they had a guy who's a DJ who slipped his card to Harry at an event, so they're hoping he's the DJ at the wedding, but nobody knows.
Annie, any other final royal wedding watching tips that you have for anybody? Nothing?
No, I just say go in with, these royal weddings don't happen very often. So enjoy it. Have fun. Get caught up in the moment because, again, this is as close as we're going to get to a royal wedding.
I think in our lifetime, let's have a hoot of a good time with this.
And take pictures because, let me say, I was really pleased that Chris Adams found those pictures because I didn't have any. We were not taking pictures like we do now back in 1981.
Okay, well, that will be no problem. We are in the selfie generation, so no problem there. And post them, send them to us. Let us know if you have got any more great tips for the royal wedding viewing, any tips for parties. We would love to hear from you. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are. We want to hear from you. Annie, I cannot thank you for, again, so much quality research on this royal wedding.
It was my pleasure.
I do know that it's near and dear to your heart, and I just have to say to our listeners, when Lady Di died, in what year was that? Do we recall? But we have a lake house, and we were out at the lake, and it was Memorial Day weekend, and Annie's friend Maureen Smith was staying with us, and the news came in at like 9:00 on the Friday night of Memorial Day weekend that year. And Annie, we only had we didn't have CNN out at the lake. We think we just had an antenna at the time. And Annie was like, I'm going. I've got to leave. I've got to go find a TV. I've got to go see what's happening. Like, you were just distraught. It was
devastating. That was devastating.
I know.
Really,
and there was no way for you to get your news. And you just were like, I've got to go. I've got to figure this out. Seriously. We had to talk you off the ledge to just sleep on it. And we would get the news in the morning.
It was devastating.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, this is a celebration of Di and her offspring.
Oh, wait. I thought of one thing I forgot.
Okay, let's go.
The Di's family has offered Meghan one of Di's tiaras to wear for the wedding, which normally when Kate Middleton got married, she was given a choice of 3 of the Queen's tiaras.
Oh.
But so it's speculated that Meghan will wear Diana's tiara since it's been offered to her.
Oh, very nice. Okay, I like
I hope
it.
that's true. I mean,
I
you
do
know.
too. I do too.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, folks. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this very special bonus episode. We just thought it was necessary to come off of our hiatus to share this very important worldwide, once-in-a-lifetime news event
It's
with
an
you.
event, right?
Okay, Annie, what's our hashtag again?
Hashtag HEGHANFOREVER. Harry, Meghan, Hagen.
Okay, people, let's celebrate this. Hashtag HEGHANFOREVER. Thanks, Annie.
Thanks.
What do you do